matter what, I feeling great.
Hello and welcome to Godlywood Studio and to Light of Knowledge. Dear friends, we have been talking about the great transformation which will happen when the time comes and the old vicious age will turn into the new powerful golden age. But the time period in between, which we call the Confluence Age, what is the speciality of this age? Let us look into the details. What kind of knowledge is God teaching in this Confluence Age? How does He teach us meditation? How does He fill us with virtues? All these details we are going to look along with Rupa Behenji. And Behenji, welcome to the studio once again.
Thank you.
Confluence Age is such a beautiful word. We have spoken about it, I think, but we haven't gone into much detail. What are the specialities of this Confluence Age?
We understood about the different times of the cycle, beginning from golden era, and then as we move forward, the second stage is named as silver age, and third the copper age, and then fourth and the last is iron age. And this cycle again repeats identically, and therefore once one cycle is completed, it has to begin with a new thing, and in between the old and new, as we understood well, the confluence age takes place, and which will be very short time. This entire cycle is of 5,000 years divided into 4,250 years of each age. But when we come to the iron age and the end of the iron age, it has to get transformed into new golden age in between very short period, maybe 100 to 150 years. This is the duration where a dramatic change takes place.
You said that if God is descending on earth, it is in this confluence age because this is where the greatest transformation happens. And if God is teaching us directly, we would like to know what is the method He is using for teaching. Why each and everyone in the world is not aware of it until now.
So far, everybody was in search of that truth which God is teaching now. It is well said, great truths are in simple words. And we have been volumes and volumes of books we have been reading, and people of intellectuals, so called, they started learning and also discovering and started writing, and people started reading and getting some knowledge. Yet so far nobody has been having that idea or satisfaction, this is the absolute truth. And that's where we stand now. Though we have exploration of knowledge, yet the humanity which has to turn to the excellence of human existence, that kind of knowledge yet we are to receive. And therefore today volumes and volumes on different subjects people have learnt and written, yet we are on the move. And this the time where God descended to this world, and so this beautiful time is also known as diamond age.
Benji, as such, there is knowledge in the world. We have volumes of spiritual literature. In what way is godly knowledge differing from this spiritual literature?
God, when He descends, first knowledge He gives about the self. That's why all great religious people, great thinkers and historians, they have keeping on telling the same message to the humanity, know thyself. Because unless and until I know myself exactly as I am, I cannot understand about the God also. So very first awareness He gives about the identity of individual self, that you are not a body, you are a soul. Though it sounds very simple, but it matters very much.
The knowledge of the soul, great seers has already given the knowledge. And when Nachiketa went to see Yamadharma, it is called, he wanted to ask the knowledge of the soul. And it is said Yamadharma actually gave it to Nachiketa. So our scriptures are already full with the knowledge of the soul. So how does godly knowledge differ? What is new in the knowledge of the soul?
Though we have been using the word soul, spirit, atma, and there is little bit of awareness about the existence also, but that is still we can say is not a complete knowledge about soul. From where the soul has come, why it has come on this earth, where it will go after leaving this body, and whatever the actions I do, the fruits of it, whether I get now or I get another birth, or if there is rebirth, on what base I take rebirth. If
So I
I
think,
am
Behenji, let us go to it one by one. Let us start from the first question you asked, where the soul is actually coming from.
So the human souls take birth one after the other, leaving one body and entering to another body, but originally from where it enters to this human world is the abode of silence, which is also known as abode of souls. In each religion there is a very good words and also explanation about that world existing. In Hindus they say Param Dham. Param means the supreme abode, and in Buddhist they say Nirvan Dham. Nirvan means beyond sound. Vani se pare vise. So this is the world of sound, but I come from the world of silence. Similarly, Christian souls they say about the heaven, O Father who is in heaven, or abode of silence. That is the words they use. And in Quran it is written Satwa Asman, like 5 elements, and beyond that there is one more element which is called subtle region, 6th element, and beyond that is the abode of silence. And there are many other names, like that is called Shantidham, a peaceful abode, Muktidham, abode of liberation, because their soul is totally liberated from all. There is no action and reaction or its fruits, good or bad. Absolutely it is in silence, and therefore it is known as Muktidham. And every soul likes that place very much because we have come from that abode of silence. Whenever in this human world we have come across with sorrow or any kind of disturbance, immediately we try to remember that abode, looking up there. As we know about Shakespeare, who has written a beautiful words about this, that we are all players in this world drama, and this world is a drama stage, and every man and woman has an entry as well as exit. But after exit, where do we go? And before entry, from where have we come? That is the secret God teaches. And second important point, the soul is immortal. It never dies, and it takes one human body and does act and carries all the fruits of that action even to the next birth. And therefore, our own impressions are the base for next birth. And soul, whatever the action it does, it is responsible. So, good or bad, pap or punya, what the words we use, the reward of that, every individual soul has to reap.
That explains one of our major problems, because we are often confused why things are happening to me. I haven't done anything and I think I am very clean. But still problems come in such a way that I am confused. Who is giving me this? That is why I think we blame God for whatever we are getting.
That is because leaving one body, which is named as death, we forget all the actions what we have done in the past. Only the impressions we carry to the next. And if the impressions are good, then of course the next we are going to receive the reward well. But if at all there is some miseries because of the past actions, at that time we have performed the past actions, that will be forgotten. And therefore we feel sorry for ourselves. In this birth I have not done anything bad to anybody, but why miseries are there, sorrow? And then we think of God, why God has given me this kind of difficulty? But the soul knowledge, what God teaches,
Maybe it is because of this forgetfulness which happens that we fail to take it as a scientific evidence, as cause and effect, because science has already taught us
yes,
about the cause and effect and we are ready to believe it. But when it comes to spirituality and karma, we fail to understand that it is my own actions which is coming back. It is maybe because of this forgetfulness which is happening.
we take responsibility if the reward is good.
But my question is, Benji, is this forgetfulness good or bad?
Whether we think it is good or bad, but we forget all our actions. When we leave the body, good and bad actions both are forgotten. But if I am aware of the knowledge, whatever the sequence I am facing, it is because of my own actions which has created a cause, then I will accept it with love. I don't repent for that, or I don't again and again repent and scold myself or throw that blame on God or anybody else. Instead of that, I clear that account of karma with the help of knowledge. So, this is the very beautiful concept we have to understand, and each and every individual, so that we will be more careful while performing action. And this world which is having the law of nature, which already you told now, whatever we act, it reaps back, rebounds us back, and therefore we should be very not with fear but with the proper awareness. I have a freedom, I should choose my actions according to the divine knowledge. Second thing, many people are mistaking about the existence of soul only in this birth, and whatever you do after death, everything goes towards the body and what we.
And another thing which actually confuses everyone regarding the godly knowledge is all our spiritual knowledge so far agrees to one point, that whatever you do in one birth, whether it is cruel actions, you will go into the womb of lower animals and take birth and reap the benefit, reap the problems or whatever. So, godly knowledge, as far as I understand, is denying that fact. So, how far is it feasible? How can we explain it?
First point, we should understand soul is immortal, eternal. Hence, whatever the actions we perform, the impressions are going to be with that, and it carries to another birth. Second important thing is, after burning this body, soul is not going to die, and therefore actions are not to be burnt through the body, along with the body. Body is just a media to perform, and therefore people have one misconception that once the body is burnt, all our actions are also burnt along with that. No, it is not true. Therefore, I carry all the impressions to next. Now, next birth, human souls gets migrated to human body.
That is where the confusion occurs.
But the actions, if I have done with lower quality, then the status in the human existence will be lower. For example, ox works hard, donkey carries so much of load, and today we see many people working very hard comparatively with ox and donkey. They carry people also on bullock carts and other weight, and they are working very hardship for their survival, though in human body, but working like that. So, this is actually the result of their actions in the past in human form. So, the form may not be changed, but the effect will be changed. So, therefore,
maybe you mean to say that even inside human bodies, they will live the life of an animal.
Yes.
So, as such, these are all symbolic again. Whatever we read in the scriptures, that you will be born as an animal, they actually meant that you will be born in the.
When there is a fall in values in human beings, people who had little wisdom, what they try to do is so that they can create little fear, so that people will be taking care of their actions, and the fear will allow them not to commit any sins. So, if you do this, you are going to take such a birth, so be careful. So, this the awareness, but little fearful, but this of course helped for some time. but not a longer time. And therefore, godly knowledge means he who is truthful, he simply reveals all truths. He simply says human souls will not go in animal species. Animal species are having their own cyclic order in their own level of quality. So, human quality is different, and human beings were deities once upon a time, highly having all the virtues, and they were in perfect order. So, the degeneration takes place at that time. We compare with many other lower animals of human existence.
I think Benji, this is a very beautiful point, because when we do low actions, it will transfer into our leading life of kind of animal like life, and we see people actually toiling in the street, whereas animals live a life of comfort inside houses. This contradiction we see in this world. So that is actually something beautiful which godly knowledge is revealing, right? So dear friends, godly knowledge is something interesting and different from the so-called scriptural knowledge or the spiritual knowledge we already have in this world. What ways it is differing? This is what we are trying to explore here. We will continue this discussion further in the coming episode. As for now, it is time for us to look into the question of the day.
Namaste Didi, I am Pravalika from Hyderabad. I am pursuing CA. I cleared my first level, but I couldn't clear the second level. I wrote 2 times, but I couldn't clear it. I wrote this May attempt. This is my third attempt. I want to clear it. Please help me, Didi.
A question from one of the students pursuing an education stream. I have seen many students who fail to clear examination even after second or third or even fourth attempt. What could be the reason? Is their focus a little bit less, or what could be the reason for this?
Reason may be anything, but if they want to complete the course, already she has passed 2 level and third one she wants to get through, there is a need of more concentration and determination. So once it is, the power of determination makes her, because once they are failed, then there is low esteem. And there is also a kind of feelings of insulting.
Maybe confidence actually goes
Yes,
down.
that's all. Because they are basically, why once they are studying CA means they are basically clever students. But the failure word itself makes their esteem low and also loses psychologically inside the confidence level.
And maybe people around them also look at them
Yes,
in the
because
same
they
way.
would have believed that I will get through at a time. So once they fail in one attempt, then second attempt also they will do with fear only. Whether I will do it or not, whether there is success or not, whether I will get through this time or not, whether paper will be okay or not. This negative thought inside troubles them, and this makes them feel that they are weak. So first they have to throw all this negative outside and sit in a calm and quiet place every day for some time and allow their thought level to become more and more positive about themselves. Let them charge themselves with positive energy first. Then go to examination hall and they see there will be wonders takes place.
Maybe there is some problem in the mind, any issue in the house, which actually makes children difficult to sit and study. So if there is such an issue in the mind, then maybe it is difficult to write further examinations and move on.
The reason may be anything, maybe environment or relation problem and sudden death of somebody, or sudden financial problem, or sudden sequence in their relationship with somebody. Anything it could be. The problems may be anything, but if they want to get through, they have to focus their attention towards themselves to get out of all these negative influences.
Maybe they need to let go of their problem and give it to the higher power, God.
Whatever the method they would like to adopt, we would like to introduce or share the best method is contemplation and little learning of their self-awareness with meditation. But even this method they choose, or let them take help of any counselor who is wise advisor for some time. but individual effort, that they have to throw their disturbances, what is happening inside, because many students, they don't share the thoughts of disturbances which are taking place inside, and they don't find any right person, or they are shy about it, or they feel it is a something like insulting themselves, or the reason may be anything. Once they don't share, they can't throw it out. Either with person let them share, or if that is not able to be easy for them, then let them learn how to share with God.
So that was a very practical question which is faced by many students, and the answer is very clear. Whatever disturbances we have in mind, we have to find a way to throw it out, whether it be by sharing with someone who they love or care about, or with God. And you need to learn that method of how to connect with God and share everything with Him. So, dear friends, we are moving to the last session of the episode, that is the attitude, virtue, and contemplation part.
Today let us take the attitude of to be a part of solution, because we are discussing about so many concepts about understanding and misunderstood from years after year maybe. So if at all we want to have the solution, let me get that knowledge which will give me the solution. I have to find the solution for my problem. This should be the attitude first of all. And the supportive virtue that I want to develop in myself is integrity. As long as I want to be the part of solution, I should be honest with myself and others. So this integrity being the same inside and outside, feels myself that as I am showing myself in front of others. So there is no any confusion or hiding something and speaking something else. So this dual-minded thoughts will disturb. So this virtue of being integrity makes a relationship better, and also integrity within myself, in my own thoughts and feelings, that should also be practiced so that I can remain more comfortable with myself.
I think, Benji, at times I want to be in the good book of someone. So I show off something which I am not actually. In this situation, I think, is it integrity or we are moving away from integrity?
It is creating more difficulty to myself, which I am not, I am pretending. How long I can pretend? So long also there will be a disturbance. So it is better to be as we are, and if we want to develop any good qualities, let us develop to that level. For that we should make little effort, but not to show something which we are not.
But if I show off a little bit, maybe I will get some new opportunities or something.
If you get new opportunities also, are you going to do justification for that? Unless you don't have the ability and holding the responsibility and taking up the opportunity, and if you don't do properly, then it will be again a great harm to ourselves and also the one who has kept trust on us. So damaging their activities also, and that leads to again damaging our impression. So this kind of a negative cycle I should not enter into. So better to understand my ability first and be what you are, and if you want to become something, let us take good steps with clarity.
I think if we can improve ourselves, then definitely opportunities will come to us, rather than we molding and doing some tricks so that we can grab opportunities.
That actually, you see, learning is a good process, but without having that learning, trying is not wrong thing. If somebody is there, somebody asks to try, okay, with your little knowledge you can try. If you click to the best, then you can move forward. But still you should understand what you are.
So we
Sequence
all
should
have
face.
our own specific skill set, and once we understand what that is, then our journey forward will be beautiful. Thanks a lot for that discussion. And Benji, now I think if you can give a little bit of reflection on those thoughts.
Sit in a comfortable position. As we are very clearly understood about the soul, that I am a point of light residing in the center of the forehead in this body, but I am eternal, indivisible, and an actor in this world drama. I am now aware that I have come to this world from the world of silence, abode of silence, which is far beyond this universe, far beyond sun, moon, and stars. That is the home where I dwell in absolute silence, in the form of star-like entity. This abode is filled with light, golden red light, and absolute vibrations of peace. I am free from all bondages in this place, hence it is known as abode of liberation, Muktidam. This is the abode of Supreme Father, hence it is known as Paramdham. Here I reside in front of my sweet beloved Father in absolute peace and pure state. With this awareness, I come down again to play my beautiful role in this world drama, entering into this physical body. I am now feeling very light, detached, and try to use my abilities, thinking, deciding before action, so that I accumulate good account of karma. Om Shanti.
Thanks a lot, Behenji, as usual, for that short but rewarding piece of reflection. Thank you very much for coming and discussing all this wonderful knowledge. So, friends, that has been a wonderful journey as usual. We discussed a lot about knowledge and we reflected as well. Let us continue this reflection as far as possible, because when we do this, we actually find the true meaning of life, because every one of our thoughts, actions, and words come back to us in such a way that we don't even imagine. Once we understand these secrets, life will be an easy journey. So, any queries, any suggestions, please feel free to email us or call us on our number. Until we meet in the next episode with a new topic, it is a goodbye from all of us in the studio.